Well, you remember that I warned you that the book of Isaiah was going to be quite a task, and it is quite a task. It's the third largest of the prophetic books in the Old Testament, and the third largest prophetic book in the entire Bible. It has 37,407 words, and it's broken down into an outline that most commentaries agree upon, and that is that it has three sections. One section which is almost entirely judgment, and we've been bogged down in that judgment, comparing it with the sins of America today as compared to the sins of Israel in the days of Isaiah. And then we have a couple of historical chapters. And then in chapter 40, we make a transition to messianic chapters. I got so excited when I read chapter 40 that I said, there's no way that I'm just going to skim over this with one particular devotion, but rather I'm going to break it down into at least 4 different devotions. And so I want to give you an outline. I hope you'll write it down, and then I hope that you'll study Isaiah chapter 40, thinking about this outline. And over the next 4 days, I'm going to try to do even just a little bit of justice to chapter 40 of the book of Isaiah. So let me first start out by giving you the 4 sections that I'm going to be covering. Chapter 40, verses 1 through 11, proclaiming his coming. Proclaiming his coming. Now, I'm not talking about the birth of Jesus. I'm talking about the second advent. The second section is verses 12 through 17. Preaching his power or his might. Preaching his might or his power. Verses 18 through 26. Professing his majesty. Professing his majesty. And then finally, verses 27 through 31. Preparing for renewal. Preparing for renewal. This transitional chapter in the book of Isaiah, going from the judgment of Israel, allowing us to see what really upsets God with iniquity and injustice, and then moving towards historical chapters which show us the accuracy of the prophecies for the short term for the nation of Israel. But at chapter 40, we begin to see the messianic promises. And all in one chapter, just 31 verses, we see an incredible picture of God. And we see what he wants us to do, not only to share our faith and to be sure that as many as possible will be coming into his kingdom, but he wants us to see how glorious his kingdom is going to be and why it's going to be so glorious. So I hope you'll take some time. You'll need 20 or 30 minutes to read through chapter 40 of the book of Isaiah. And again, look for that outline. Proclaiming his coming, preaching his power, professing his majesty, and preparing for renewal. Take a look and see if that outline fits those verses. I think that you'll be glad that you did. Today, it's so easy to get bogged down and discouraged. But I think chapter 40 of the book of Isaiah will lift your spirits. For it's not going to always be like it is now. Better days are coming. And that's my thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.